Before significant life changes, God often communicates through mystical revelations to help guide us. These signs may not always be obvious, but through deep spiritual awareness, we can begin to see them clearly. In Christian mysticism, such divine messages are seen as a way to prepare our hearts and minds for the transformation ahead. Recognizing these revelations is crucial for embracing God's plan. In this video, we'll explore 11 mystical revelations that signal a major life shift, helping you understand and trust the changes God is guiding you toward. Revelation 1. A deep sense of restlessness. One mystical revelation that often precedes a significant life shift is the feeling of inner discontent or dissatisfaction with the familiar. This isn't the typical dissatisfaction that comes from a temporary frustration. Rather, it is a profound sense that the current circumstances no longer resonate with your spirit. In Christian mysticism, this feeling is understood as God gently nudging the soul toward transformation. You may feel that your current role, environment, or relationships no longer support your spiritual growth, and this sensation invites you to explore deeper spiritual alignment. This internal discontent isn't to be feared. It's a divine signal that change is approaching. One clear biblical example of this is Moses. While living as a shepherd in Midian, Moses experienced a call far greater than the life he had known. This discontent wasn't from dissatisfaction with his life, but a divine stirring that would eventually lead him to encounter God in the burning bush and step into his role as a leader of Israel. In the same way, this inner sense of misalignment often indicates that God is preparing you for something more. The key is to remain open and attentive to God's direction, as this feeling of unease can lead you into a new spiritual chapter aligned with His purpose for your life. Rather than pushing away the discontent, it's important to reflect and discern where God is guiding you next. Revelation 2. A call to solitude and reflection. Another mystical revelation God may send before a major life shift is the pull towards solitude and reflection. This isn't about loneliness, but rather a sacred calling to step away from the noise and distractions of daily life. In Christian mysticism, this period of solitude is essential for spiritual renewal and deeper communion with God. It allows the soul to focus away from the demands and influences of the world and attunes the heart to the voice of God. Solitude provides a space for inner transformation. By creating room for prayer and contemplation, the soul becomes more receptive to divine guidance. It's during these quiet moments that God often reveals His plans, allowing individuals to discern the next steps on their journey. The desire to withdraw from social activities or worldly distractions can be a sign that God is preparing you for something new, and this invitation into solitude is His way of helping you gain clarity and spiritual strength. An example of this is Jesus withdrawing to the wilderness before beginning His ministry. During this time of fasting and prayer, Jesus prepared Himself for the challenges and decisions that lay ahead. Similarly, when you feel the pull to step back from your usual routines, it may be God's way of calling you to listen more closely to His voice. This solitude is not an escape, but a time for reflection, helping you become spiritually ready for the shift that is to come. Revelation 3. Unusual dreams and visions. God often uses dreams and visions to communicate His intentions before a significant life shift. In Christian mysticism, these experiences are seen as divine messages, offering insight and guidance for the journey ahead. Dreams have long been understood as a bridge between the earthly and spiritual realms, revealing truths that aren't always accessible in waking life. Through vivid, symbolic imagery, God may be showing you something important about your next steps. For example, in the Bible, Joseph's dreams foretold his future rise to a position of power in Egypt. His dreams were not random, but direct revelations from God about the significant changes that were coming in his life. Similarly, when you experience unusual or powerful dreams that seem rich in symbolism, it's essential to pay attention. These dreams may feature recurring themes, symbols, or feelings that point toward an upcoming transformation or a new direction God is leading you toward. It's important to approach these dreams prayerfully, asking God for discernment and clarity. Christian mystics have long viewed dreams as windows into the divine, offering a glimpse of God's intention for the soul's path. If you find yourself repeatedly dreaming about particular symbols, journeys, or encounters, take time in prayer to reflect on their meaning. These dreams could be God's way of preparing you for a significant life shift, helping you understand and embrace the spiritual journey ahead. Revelation 4. A shift in relationships. One mystical revelation that often signals a major life shift is a noticeable change in your relationships. Suddenly, people you've been close to may begin to drift away, or you might feel a strong inner sense that certain connections are no longer in alignment with your spiritual growth. In Christian mysticism, relationships are often viewed as reflections of our inner spiritual state. As God leads you into a new phase of life, these shifts in relationships can mirror the transformation happening within you. This can be a challenging experience, as it often involves letting go of relationships that once felt essential. However, it's important to recognize that as your soul evolves, not all connections will continue to serve your journey. This doesn't mean you lose love or connection with others, but rather that God is gently realigning your life to bring in people who support your spiritual path. As you move toward your divine purpose, relationships that no longer resonate may naturally fall away to make room for new ones that better align with God's plan for you. One example of this can be found in the story of the disciples who left behind their families, friends, and livelihoods to follow Jesus. Their relationships shifted as they aligned more closely with their spiritual calling. In your own life, pay attention to the changing dynamics in your relationships. God may be preparing you for a major life shift, drawing you toward people who will support your growth and the path ahead. Revelation 5. Increased sensitivity to spiritual signs. Another mystical revelation that often precedes a major life shift is an increased sensitivity to spiritual signs and symbols. You may notice subtle patterns or occurrences that seem too significant to be coincidences. Christian mysticism teaches that God often communicates through everyday events, symbols, and even the natural world. These signs may come in various forms, such as repeatedly seeing specific numbers, encountering particular scripture passages, or noticing symbols that hold personal or biblical significance. This heightened awareness is not merely a matter of chance. It's a sign that God is drawing closer to you, preparing your spirit for transformation. As your sensitivity to these spiritual signs increases, you may begin to feel a deeper connection with the divine and a stronger sense of intuition. These symbols serve as a form of divine communication, gently pointing you toward the next steps in your journey. One example from Scripture can be seen in how Gideon asked God for a sign using a fleece to confirm his will. Similarly, you may find that God is sending you small, consistent signs that confirm His presence and direction in your life. Mystics often describe this heightened awareness as a sign that God is preparing the soul for new understanding and spiritual growth. Trust these subtle signs and symbols, as they may be guiding you toward an important shift in your life's path. Remain open and attentive to the ways God is revealing His plan for you through the spiritual signs around you. Revelation 6. A desire for spiritual growth. A deep yearning for spiritual growth is another mystical sign that God is preparing you for a major life shift. This longing might manifest as an intensified desire to spend more time in prayer, delve deeper into Scripture, or seek out spiritual teachings that bring you closer to God. In Christian mysticism, this hunger is understood as the soul's way of signaling its readiness for transformation and deeper union with the divine. Often, this desire for spiritual growth comes with a sense of urgency, as if your spirit knows that something profound is on the horizon. You may feel drawn to practices that bring clarity and connection, such as fasting, contemplative prayer, or even joining a spiritual community. This inner pull is not just about learning more, but about experiencing God in a more intimate and personal way. Your soul is preparing to ascend to a higher level of spiritual awareness, and this desire is a response to God drawing you closer. A biblical example of this yearning can be seen in King David, who often expressed his deep thirst for God in the Psalms. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. Psalm 42:1. When you experience this intense spiritual longing, it's a sign that God is at work in your life, guiding you toward a new stage in your spiritual journey. Trust this desire for growth, as it indicates that a divine transformation is on the horizon. Revelation 7. Moments of spiritual ecstasy or clarity. Another mystical revelation that often occurs before a major life shift is a moment of profound spiritual clarity or even ecstasy, where God's presence feels incredibly near. These moments are often unexpected and can happen during deep prayer, meditation, or even in the midst of daily activities. Christian mystics and saints describe these experiences as brief but powerful encounters with the divine, where God's presence is so overwhelming that it feels like a glimpse of heaven on earth. These moments of clarity or spiritual ecstasy serve as a foretaste of the transformation that is about to take place in your life. They provide reassurance that God is at work, guiding you through the changes ahead. You might feel an intense sense of peace, joy, or understanding that transcends ordinary perception, giving you insight into God's plans and your role within them. Saint Teresa of Avila, for example, often spoke of experiencing divine ecstasies, where God's presence flooded her soul, providing profound clarity and strength for the challenges ahead. Such moments are a sign that God is preparing to move powerfully in your life, and they offer you the insight and assurance needed to embrace the upcoming changes with faith. When these mystical experiences occur, they are gifts from God, meant to guide you and strengthen your spirit for the journey ahead. Embrace them fully, knowing they are part of the spiritual awakening and transformation that God is unfolding in your life. Revelation 8. A feeling of spiritual protection. Another mystical revelation before a major life shift is the profound feeling of spiritual protection. It's as if a shield surrounds you, and you are safeguarded from harm, even in moments of uncertainty or turbulence. In Christian mysticism, this sense of divine protection is often attributed to the presence of angels or spiritual guardians, whom God sends to guide and protect His chosen ones. These unseen forces can offer a deep sense of comfort, reminding you that you are not navigating this journey alone. This feeling of protection typically comes when you are on the brink of a significant life change, providing reassurance that God's hand is upon you. The sense may be subtle, like an inner calm in the face of challenges, or more pronounced, like a strong feeling that something greater is guiding your steps. Mystics have long spoken of these moments, describing how they felt surrounded by divine forces, ensuring that they were supported and protected during transformative periods in their spiritual journey. An example from Scripture is the story of Daniel in the lion's den, where Daniel's faith in God provided him with divine protection from harm. In your own life, if you experience a similar feeling of spiritual shielding, trust that it's a sign from God. It's a way of preparing you for what's ahead, ensuring that you can walk forward with confidence, knowing that you are under God's divine care and protection. This revelation is His reassurance that He is guiding your path through the coming changes. Revelation 9. A detachment from material concerns. Another mystical revelation that often precedes a major life shift is a growing detachment from material concerns. This doesn't mean neglecting your responsibilities, but you may begin to notice that worldly pursuits, such as wealth, possessions, or status, start to lose their hold over you. In Christian mysticism, this detachment is seen as a necessary step towards spiritual enlightenment. It allows the soul to focus more fully on God and His divine purpose, freeing you from the distractions of material success. You might feel a shift in your priorities, where spiritual matters and inner growth take precedence over accumulating wealth or achieving worldly recognition. This sense of detachment is not about rejecting the material world, but about placing less emphasis on it as you seek deeper union with God. Mystics like St. Francis of Assisi embraced this shift, renouncing material wealth to focus entirely on their spiritual journeys. If you find yourself less concerned with material achievements, it could be a sign that God is preparing you for a life shift that requires greater spiritual focus. This detachment helps to clear the way for new spiritual insights and allows you to align more closely with God's plan for your life. Trust that this shift in perspective is a part of your spiritual preparation, drawing you closer to the divine and enabling you to live out your true purpose with a focus on what truly matters, your relationship with God and His calling for you. Revelation 10. A season of testing or challenges. Another mystical revelation that often signals a major life shift is a season of testing or challenges. These periods of trial, while difficult, are essential for spiritual refinement and growth. Christian mystics frequently refer to this as the dark night of the soul, a time when believers endure emotional or spiritual hardship that ultimately deepens their connection with God. During these moments, you may feel as though your faith is being tested or that obstacles are intensifying. However, these challenges are not without purpose. In Christian mysticism, this testing serves as a divine refining process, much like gold being purified through fire. These trials strip away what is unnecessary, leaving you more spiritually attuned and prepared for the next chapter of your journey. God allows these challenges to strengthen your character, deepen your reliance on Him, and bring you to a place of greater wisdom. While it may feel uncomfortable or painful, this season of testing is a crucial preparation for the life shift ahead. An example of this can be found in the story of Job, who endured immense trials and suffering only to emerge with a stronger faith and a greater understanding of God's purpose. If you are facing significant challenges, know that this is not a sign of abandonment, but of divine preparation. God is shaping you through these trials, refining your spirit for the new opportunities and responsibilities He is preparing to place before you. Trust in this process and in God's presence throughout your journey. Revelation 11. A profound inner peace. One of the most profound mystical revelations signaling an upcoming life shift is an overwhelming sense of inner peace, even in the face of uncertainty. This peace, described in Philippians 4:7 as the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, serves as divine reassurance that God is actively working in your life. In Christian mysticism, this peace is recognized as a gift from God, affirming that you are aligned with His will and on the right spiritual path. This sense of calm often comes when circumstances are far from settled. Despite not knowing what lies ahead, this peace provides a deep comfort and confidence that God is in control. Christian mystics often speak of feeling carried by God during these times, as if the weight of worry is lifted, replaced by unshakable trust in His plan. It is not a fleeting emotion, but a profound state of being that remains even when the future is unclear. A biblical example of this peace is seen in Jesus, who before His crucifixion was able to remain calm and assured in the face of immense suffering, trusting entirely in God's plan. If you find yourself experiencing this deep inner peace, it is a sign that God is preparing you for something significant. Embrace this peace as confirmation that God is guiding you through the transition, offering you the strength and clarity needed for the life shift ahead. This peace is a sacred reminder that God's presence is always with you. These mystical revelations are God's way of preparing you for significant life changes, gently guiding you through transitions. Each sign is a divine message, encouraging you to trust in His plan, even when the future feels uncertain. Christian mysticism teaches that God's presence is always active, communicating through subtle yet powerful ways to lead you toward your true purpose. By being open to these revelations, you allow yourself to align more deeply with His will. Embrace these signs with faith and move forward, knowing that God is walking alongside you through every step of the journey.